Tommy, listen to me. He is the contractor. He's the contractor, okay? I can't lose this job. Talk about it in the morning. All right, good night.
In this small little scene, we already learned so much about Joel. One is that he works really hard for the money he makes, and he's kind of living paycheck to paycheck. He can't lose this job, so anyone that happens to shake the boat might change the entire framework of his family. Second thing is, right away when he sees that Sarah is sleeping on the couch, even though this is really important, he says, you know what? Let's not talk about this now. We'll talk about it later, because he doesn't want to cause her distress. He doesn't want to shed his anxiety about money issues to his daughter.
Monday at work, huh?
What are you still doing up? It's late.
Oh, crud, what time is it?
It's way past your bedtime.
But it's still today.
Honey, please not right now. I do not have the energy for this.
Here.
A lot of times we do that. We give all of our energy and time to work or to a different relationship or to something else that we're doing. And you want to kind of be really aware of how much energy you're going through the day. You're probably supposed to keep about 20% of that life energy to keep yourself at home so that you don't feel wiped out every day of doing something as a grind over and over again, especially if you're doing physical work. But he's already completely wiped out. He's so wiped out that even having a conversation is way too much for him.
What's this?
Your birthday?
She's so excited that she still made it. Like, she wanted to stay up no matter what, and that's why she was sleeping on the couch, because she wanted to make sure that she would be there to be able to give this to her dad still on his birthday. She's no doubt a caretaker because this matters a lot to her. Even though it might not matter that much to her dad, she wants to make sure that her dad's birthday is appreciated and acknowledged.
You kept complaining about your broken watch. So I figured,
Caretakers are people that put other people's needs and wants above their own. Their happiness is in understanding other people, reading what they need even before they know it. So she's already picked up on the cues that Joel said that his watch is broken and that's annoying. And she went, I have the perfect gift for him.
You like it?
And you see that cute little look? She's waiting for that affirmation. That's her cup. Caretakers get affirmation from people saying, oh my God, that was so amazing. I'm so excited. That's what feeds them. Make sure if you have a caretaker in your life, be appreciative when they take care of you.
Honey, it's
What?
nice, but I think it's stuck. It's not...
What? No. Oh, ha ha.
And I love the cute play that they have with each other. Even though Joel's really, really touched, she still finds a way to put a little tiny joke to cause her some anxiety that the watch that she spent all this money on might be broken. And she right away plays it off really well. She's not sensitive to it. She gets her dad's humor.
Where did you get the money for this?
I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
And you can see how close they are. They formed this unit, the way that they play and joke about, and he knows not to take her serious. He doesn't go into a whole diatribe of how drugs are bad and you shouldn't sell them. He knows where she is and he understands who she is as a person.
Good night, baby girl.
And that love of him carrying her to bed, when he calls her baby girl and pushes away the hair from her face, you can see that tenderness and care that he has for her. Even though she's now a teen, she's always his little girl.
Oh, dang it. I forgot to give this to him.
Dear Dad, let's see. You're never around. You hate the music I'm into. You practically despise movies I like. And yet somehow you're still managed to be the best dad every year. How do you do that? Happy birthday, Pops. Heart, Sarah. Now in this card that she forgot to give to her dad, there's a whole bunch of information. One is they're very different people. You can tell that her dad is rugged and hardworking and dedicated and a little bit gruff, rough around the edges, whereas Sarah's more of that super feeler and caring and naive and loving and thoughtful. And she says, you know what, you spend so much time at work, I don't really get to see you, and we don't like the same music, we don't like the same movies, but you're still the best dad for me. And it's that wonderful thing is that we can be different people, but still be really, really close.
Sarah, are you okay?
Yeah?
Don't go near the doors. Just stand back there.
Dad, you're kind of freaking me out.
You can tell from Joel's breathing that he's going through an anxiety dump. Just by hearing his breathing, we'll feel it also. You can see that Sarah is catching that there's something really bad happening. When he tells her to step back, she knows that this is serious.
I think they're sick.
I'm kind of sick.
Jesus. Jimmy!
Dad?
Honey, come here. Come here.
And this is really interesting. So when we get that rush of adrenaline into our system, we go through those fight, flight, freeze, fawn, faint, all of these different interactions, and you don't know what you're really going to do. But Joel, right away, he immediately got the gun ready and you could hear him putting the bullets into it. He got prepared and he's able to get ready and speak to Sarah at the same time. He doesn't go through the freeze response. He goes through the fight. Sarah, she goes through that panic. She doesn't really know what to do. Luckily, though, she has enough trust in her father, who is the person that she feels safe and secure with, but you can hear the fright in her voice. This is something completely outside of the range of what would be normal behavior for her father.
You shot him.
Sarah.
I saw him this morning.
Listen to me.
And you can hear that she's starting to go into a complete freeze response. She's starting to say how she can't believe that this happened. Her voice is starting to tremor.
We've got to get out of here. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
He slows her down. He makes sure that he's looking at her. He speaks to her in this calm but serious voice. He helps her start to process, and he says it in very simple terms, because if she said a really long diatribe of everything that was happening, it would just end up not being processed, because when we're really anxious and worried, the part of our brain, the cognitive part, the thinking part, gets wiped out. We just kind of go on that autonomic response, whatever is muscle memory to us. And he helps her by giving her one thing: we have to get out of here. You have to pay attention. And he holds her so that she feels safe.
Tommy, come on. Come on.
Where the hell you been?
And he holds her hand so that even if she's not thinking, he'll know exactly where she is and she'll know to follow. And actually, when we're really, really frightened, we are very suggestible during those times to people that make us feel safe and protected. That's why sometimes we can do things that we shouldn't do or give up our rights and freedoms when we feel frightened enough.
You have any idea what's going on out there?
I got some notion.
Holy you got blood all over you.
It ain't mine. Let's just get out of here.
I do love the comment of whenever someone's like, you've got blood all over you. Don't worry, it's not mine. You're like, oh, okay, that makes it so much better.
Oh, a parasite or something. You gonna tell me what happened?
Later.
And I love that. I love that they're just like, let's just get out of here. We can talk on the way. When there's something really serious happening, then people decide to have this in-depth, deep conversation about something that isn't even important right now. This is not the time. Let's just get out of here and we can talk when we're safe or on the way to becoming safe.
Did they say how many are dead?
Probably a lot. Found this one family all mangled inside their house. Right.
It is not going to help her be able to be prepared to keep herself safe if she becomes overloaded and too distraught. Even though this is something that's important for her to know that this is dangerous, she does not need to know the gruesome details, and it actually could hinder their chances of survival.
Let's see what they need.
What do you think you're doing? Keep driving.
He's going to make these decisions, these really strong leadership decisions that will keep her safe, even at the cost of other people's lives. And sometimes when you're in that leadership decision, you have to make really hard choices.
I got a kid, Joel.
So do we.
But we have room.
In other words, she's his priority.
You see what I see. Someone else will come along.
You should have helped him.
And And then he states that statement of someone else will come along. That's that little piece, that piece when we go through a moral dilemma and we make a choice, that we give ourselves that little tiny caveat so that we don't feel that bad for having to make these really difficult decisions. It tries to make him feel less guilty and also everyone else that is there so that everyone can go along. Because if you end up with dissension in the ranks, then one person's going to feel upset and then they might question your decision next time. And when you're taking a leadership role, it's really important that everyone is following the same path without question. And so now you see Joel, he kind of has that fear response of actually being face to face, having to make hand-to-hand combat with someone that he doesn't even understand. And so luckily Tommy was there to be able to keep him safe when he kind of froze up, which can sometimes happen. We don't always go through the same response. So even to the same type of stimulus, sometimes something can feel so overwhelming that our brain kind of stalls that we don't even really know what to do.
My leg hurts. Pretty bad.
You're gonna need to run. Keep us safe. Come on, baby. Now hold on tight.
I love that Joel's thinking that if I'm going to be holding on here, give Tommy the gun so that he can be protector while I'm going to just be able to focus on running as fast as I can. That type of thinking is really difficult when you're in these tough, high-pressure situations, especially one that you haven't been pre-prepared for. People with military training, they already prepare for many different scenarios because when you hit that stress response and your brain kind of gets wiped out, you're just going to go back to whatever is your training. He has the wits about him to know that, you know what, I'm not going to be able to carry this gun, and it's hard to give up something that you consider protection to you to someone else, especially when you're protecting your child.
Daddy, I'm scared.
Why Joel tells her to close her eyes is for two reasons. One is because he knows that whatever we consume, we're really careful about the food that we consume, but it's also really important to deal with what your brain is consuming. He doesn't want Sarah to have all of these horrific images imprinted upon her brain. They're really traumatic, so he wants to be able to protect her from those. Secondarily, he wants to make sure that she's not going to get overloaded and she's not going to be able to do anything, because in these situations, he may need her to be able to act. And if she's busy crying or panicking, she may not be in the best mind space to be able to do the things they need to do to survive.
Those people are on fire.
Don't look, Sarah.
But it's hard for us not to look, especially when you hear all of these sounds. You want to find out. We're made to be able to respond to danger and things that are strange around us. And so even though Sarah completely trusts her dad, part of it is just that curiosity of what exactly is happening. If you're ever doing a meditation and your eyes are closed and you hear a noise, it's instinct for us to open our eyes to make sure that we are safe from whatever's happening.
Get to the highway. What? Go! You got Sarah!
Daddy, we can't leave him.
He's gonna be fine.
Sarah doesn't want them to leave anyone behind. She's the caretaker and she wants to be able to keep everyone safe. He will be fine. That's again so that Sarah can let it go and stay on track with their survival.
We need help.
Stop!
Please. We're not sick.
Got a couple of civilians on the outer perimeter. Sir, there's a little girl. Yes, sir.
If you've been trained to follow orders and someone in authority tells you to do something abhorrent that is against your moral code, it takes so much strength of person to be able to go against that, especially with people that have been trained for long periods of time to follow orders and that bad things will happen if you don't. It often happens that you'll follow an order even though everything in your character says you shouldn't.
Somebody, we've just been through hell.
And what is him as a father, his first response when he can tell that they're going to be shot? It is to turn around and have his back protect Sarah from the oncoming bullets.
Please don't. Oh no, Sarah. No. Please, please don't.
What happens to that feeling of guilt and mourning when you've done everything that's in your power to be able to protect someone and the worst case still happens? And for Joel, it's even worse because he doesn't even have the time or space to be able to process it. You haven't really dealt with it, so it's going to come back up at a later state in some other way. And for some people, that might come out with just keeping everyone away and being really aggressive and cold and distant so that they don't become close to someone else that they know that they might lose also. Other people become strong caretakers of wanting to protect people because they're trying to make up for the mistake that they couldn't protect the ones that they love. Plus, you can't even really talk to people about it because everyone else has gone through this same situation, or perhaps even worse. So everyone also has their traumas, which perhaps in some ways might feel comforting, but I think also it's very dismissive because probably people don't want to hear it. We end up feeling overwhelmed with stories of pain and hardship, and we can't carry any more. And I think that this was the perfect setup to who he was to Ellie, how he got another chance to be able to protect a daughter, and why he would go to those lengths and extremes, that her life was more important than his in order to right a wrong that he's felt, and he wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to fail a second time. And I think that that also shows why their bond was so very strong. He saw his daughter in her. If you want to make sure that you are psychologically prepared to be one of the last of us, keep on watching this channel. And while watching my videos is a great way to get familiar with the basics of psychology, if you want to gain an understanding of the basics of computer science, physics, quantum mechanics, game theory, and everything you need to know to be prepared for the zombie apocalypse, check out today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant is the online interactive STEM learning platform with a growing catalog of courses specifically crafted to help you learn concepts by working through them yourself in visual, hands-on ways. And all the lessons are presented in bite-sized pieces so you can learn at your own pace. There's no pressure, and if you ever feel stuck, Brilliant has in-depth explanations that help you break down the material even more. Like their algorithm neural network and machine learning courses, they let you shift blocks of pseudocode around, so you receive that immediate feedback and get those results. It's like you're solving puzzles or playing a game, but the whole time you're learning how artificial intelligences really work. To get started for free, visit brilliant.org/Georgia Dow or click on the link in the description, and the first 200 people get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Just click on the button on the screen or go to brilliant.org/Georgia Dow. Clicking on that button really helps out this channel, so thank you so much, and so does clicking on the playlist above for more great videos. Give them a watch and hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you want me to go through a little bit more about Joel and Ellie's story, let me know in the comments below.